Good morning. I would like to make a few comments about what happened over the weekend in Pennsylvania and start by offering, on behalf of all of Louisville, our condolences to the family of Mr. Comparator, who was killed during President Trump's rally in Pennsylvania over the weekend. May his memory be a blessing. Our thoughts are also with Mr. Dutch and Mr. Copenhaver and their families. We pray for their full and speedy recovery. And Rachel and my thoughts are also with former President Trump and his entire family. We know firsthand the incredible pain that they are all going through right now. The memories and feelings of surviving an assassination attempt during a political campaign are still very fresh for me. A life-changing event like this can make us better, or it can make us bitter. I choose for it personally to make me better. I was fortunate enough to survive, and survived with more resolve than ever to lead our city towards progress. And I still feel that strength of resolve nearly 2.5 years later. There is no place for violence in politics, period. And really, there's no place for violence anywhere in America. This is not the America anyone wants. So let's change it. Let's all work with a strong resolve to make progress, even when the challenges and divides seem so big as they might right now. We can't become numb to the violence that's taking place in our country. We can't allow political violence to become the norm. And we can't think that this won't happen again if we don't all change just a little bit. Because just in the past 2.5 years since the assassination attempt on me, political violence has continued. And the whole world saw it Saturday night when someone tried to kill former President Trump. So what can we all do? Well, for starters, all of us can play a role in lowering the temperature of our political world. And it all starts with respect. Respecting one another even when we disagree. Let's learn from one another, not seek to destroy one another. And for when you come across someone who doesn't seem interested in finding common ground, don't engage with them. Don't give them any oxygen. Move on, because most everyone, I truly believe, wants to listen and learn from one another. Absolutely no good came from Saturday's heinous act of gun violence, but let's hope it's finally the wake-up call some of us always hope for when there's a tragic act like this. A wake-up call to end the vitriol online. A wake-up call to end the victory at all costs tactics that campaigns have seemingly been using recently. A wake-up call to address the carnage that keeps happening when people use deadly assault weapons to kill other people, just as was used on Saturday night to try and kill former President Trump. It should be a wake-up call to address the carnage that comes from these heinous acts of gun violence. We saw it in Pennsylvania. We saw it right here in Kentucky when 5 bank employees were killed. We saw it in Uvalde, Texas, when 21 students and teachers were killed at the wrong end of an assault rifle. And we see it far too often on the streets right here in Louisville. So let's respectfully talk openly about these issues and more. We all agree that gun violence is wrong. We all want to improve public education. We all want more good-paying jobs close to home. We all want to end homelessness. We all want a safer community. So let's listen to one another. Let's learn from one another. And finally, make more progress to achieving these shared goals that all of us as Americans share in common. That is my hope for our city. That is my hope for our country. And I recommit myself to working in that spirit of openness. And I hope other elected officials, anyone campaigning for office, the media, and every American joins me in this effort. Let's not lose any more lives to political violence. Thank you all very much. I'm happy to take any questions on that if you all have any. I was having dinner on Saturday night out with my family, and I got a text from a colleague.
And you saw the first videos of it happening. What was your reaction?
Well, I didn't see any videos at first. I was at dinner, so I was just getting some texts from various colleagues, and my heart dropped. It was, the information at first was very minimal. People didn't know what was going on. There were theories as to what might have happened, but it just brought back an experience for me that hit way too close to home.
And when you were able to absorb the videos for the first time to see how close this came to an absolute catastrophe, how did your feelings shift?
Well, first, I was pleased to hear that President Trump survived. I was very saddened to hear that one person was killed, that 2 others were injured. Again, political violence has no place in our country. It has no place anywhere. Why people are resorting to using guns to try to settle political disputes makes no sense. And so Saturday night was a tough night for me. It was a tough night for me for many reasons. I think it was a sad day for America. And again, I'm hopeful that maybe finally, this might be the wake-up call that our entire country needs to lower the temperature, to listen and learn from one another, to start engaging and have real dialogue about the issues, even when we may vehemently disagree. Because I truly believe that deep down, we all do want the same goals. Nobody wants people killed from guns. So let's talk about it. Let's figure out how we can make improvement in our country on that topic or any other topic.